Oh, he's had a hat on, had a hat on as well.
I don't.
2 hats.
Never had a hat.
I thought you were dead.
Sun out of your eyes and be yourself.
Heard you were dead.
She's dead, wrapped in plastic.
That man's dead back there.
It was worse than dead. Must be dead. Is this a dead man, Doctor?
Oh God! Oh Jesus Christ!
Hi-oh! What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Roast Mortem Podcast. I am Tom, the Cream Surfer Saltman.
I'm Travis!
I am Cody McCann.
And we're here to roast things.
Yeah, roast it. Roast. Roast.
Yeah.
Do it up.
Before we get into that, Travis, how was your week?
It was all right. You know, my computer broke, and it might have been a lot of Sesman on my logic board.
I'm 100% positive that the Sesman is the problem.
How did it get that deep in there?
Well, that's my life philosophy. You put a lot of Sesmans on the logic,
Yeah.
and your brain flows better.
He's been cutting it back to only 4 or 5 times a day. So he has a lot of flow now.
Yeah. My balls look like raisins.
I know.
It's not obvious what Sesman means to the people.
They know what Sesman is.
They do now.
It's juice,
they do
dog.
fucking now.
It's man juice, dog.
Yeah, just a hair of man juice. Cody, how was your week?
Yeah, good. I got all this nice carpal tunnel from all the C-sharp goddamn coding I'm doing.
Yeah, a little bit of C-sharp.
Yeah, C-sharp.
Poseidon's Trident is C-sharp.
Tom,
But probably also from wanking. I get it.
Yeah, that's it.
Tom, are you
whatever.
wanking this week? What do you do?
No, me, I'm resisting.
I've watched them the entire time.
Yeah. I'm loaded right now.
Oh no, you're gonna go off during the show.
I am. Get ready,
Whoa.
everyone.
You planned for it.
It's gonna like blow a little bit.
Yeah, for some reason this comes through
Oh,
your
wait.
stereo or
Stop it.
headphones. We will send you wet naps.
God damn it.
Ooh,
Only if.
shooting gravy.
Do not lie to me.
We'll know if you're lying.
Yeah, we'll know. We know.
Dated or it doesn't happen. Is that it?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So Tom, you were the boy that came up with all the research for this son.
I did. That's me.
That's you.
Yeah, thank you for asking.
Who's on the chopping land?
Ah, okay. So I'm glad you asked. And of course, it wouldn't be a podcast if you didn't ask.
Yeah.
This week's gentleman is a choice gentleman.
Choice.
Someone who I can't help but say is very interesting.
Oh?
Extremely interesting.
Where are you going
Whoa.
with this?
Yes. And I'm going to also say the king of showmanship, the one and only Liberace.
Oh.
Whoa!
Hey.
Oh, yeah!
What?
I'm here.
All right, you did that before, and Liberace's
Yeah,
not an
gotta-
opera singer.
I thought he was.
No,
he's
no.
not. I'm
I
just
know.
going to let you do that.
All right, well, I'm just gonna keep doing it. Yeah!
You cut this funny off too soon. You should have let that go
No, dog.
4 deep and then let him know.
Yeah, true.
Liberace was a sassy pianist, Travis.
Yeah, well, he pianist on his lungs.
All right, nice try. Very nice, Travis.
Good
Yeah,
start.
I'm
that-
so cultured.
That's how you pronounce it. If you've clicked this podcast, it looks like Liberace, but it's pronounced Liberace. And this episode is we're titling this "Too Much of a Good Thing Will Get You Roasted."
Ooh, a little got those
that.
spicy fingers. The sausages on them fingies.
Yes, very, very spice.
He's got some fast moves.
Yeah.
Fast
Oh
movers.
my God, you would not believe how fast
You won't believe
his
those?
moves are.
Won't believe those fast moves.
Fast boy.
So let's move along. We'll tell you about the beginning of his life.
Yeah, where was he born? What did he do?
He was born in West Allis, Wisconsin,
What?
May 16th, 1919.
Dude, I completely thought Liberace was a completely different person.
Yeah,
you thought it was Pavarotti.
yeah, I thought that's who I thought it was.
Yeah,
No.
you thought it was Pavarotti.
Yeah.
I
no.
thought it was Pavarotti for sure.
Yeah.
Because
and that man's interesting too.
He's still kicking.
because
No,
you
he's-
said
no, he's
Wisconsin.
dead.
That was like I was thinking mozzarella. I was thinking all these things.
Cheddar.
No, he had
Cheddar. Yeah.
his father was an Italian. His father, Sam Liberace,
Mm.
came over here and met his wife, Frances Zukowaska. I said that totally wrong. I'm reading it, and it's Polish, and it's far away from me. So Zuko, yeah, it's just Zukoska.
Zukaska.
Zukoska.
Oh,
Roll
yeah.
into that one.
Hey.
Yeah, so he came from Sam Kraft Cheese and Sarah Kobasi.
Yeah, moving along. That's 100% accurate. He was born Waltzu Valentino Liberace, or Walter.
Jesus.
It's a little
Sounds
Walter
Chinese
Lib.
almost.
Now, he had 3 other siblings. He had an older brother, George, an older brother, Angelina, and a younger brother, Rudy.
Rudy.
I wish my
Rudy.
brother George was here.
That's where that's from.
Yup.
If you've ever heard that expression, that is Liberace talking into the camera during the Liberace show, which we'll talk all about later, referring to his brother. I wish my brother George was here.
You ever heard that?
No.
The Warner
I'm just-
Brothers, the Looney Tunes used to bust that out every now and then.
Yeah, and Del the Funky Homo Sapien has an album named that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow, I'm just an uncultured boy tonight.
yeah. Fucking Pavarotti.
Keep drinking.
Singing Pop My Collar, Pabarabi.
All right,
Hammurabi.
for the listeners at home, I'm probably gonna throw in some false facts so I can trick Travis. I will tell you afterwards.
Oh,
What is this
yeah. False facts. Hell yeah.
Sprung this out.
I just came up with it because I see what Travis is in right now. He's fucking knee deep in bullshit. I'm gonna let him know.
Oh, absolutely,
I'm gonna have a
dog.
good time with him.
So we're dealing with Kraft.
No.
Okay. Don't listen
Wisconsin.
to Travis.
Don't
you
listen
can
to
laugh.
me.
You can laugh with him. You had me laughing before.
My dad's
Sickle
home.
pink.
My dad's home. You guys got to keep it quiet.
We're not at your house. This isn't your house.
He's home though.
At your house.
Don't wake daddy. All right, let's move along.
Yeah.
Musical beginnings. Liberace was deemed a musical prodigy by the age of 5.
Like the fire starter,
Yeah. Well,
twisted fire starter.
yeah. He was that kind of prodigy.
Okay.
Liberace concentrated on his piano playing with the help of music teacher Florence Kelly, who oversaw Liberace's musical development for 10 years. She brought him under his wing, and after about 10 years of lessons, seeing this boy flourish, she invited him to do solo spots on a local radio station.
Oh shit.
So he was introduced at the age of 20 or 19, excuse me.
Hmm.
Oh, no, that math is all wrong. No, I think around 16 he was introduced to radio.
Little Baby Bell.
Yeah, him doing solo bits. Little
Right.
Baby Bell. Yes.
Little Baby Bell. So do you think that she started with hot cross buns or the Chinese song?
No, he
So
had
then-
learned
then-
he had to learn some very advanced stuff by ear by the age of 4.
Really?
Yeah, he was a nut job.
So by the age of like 2, he was playing hot cross buns.
He probably fell out of his mommy's vagina.
Playing hot cross buns.
Francis's vagina, and on the way out was doing hot cross buns, hot cross buns, hot cross
Chopsticks.
buns, hot cross buns, hot cross buns, hot cross buns. You know where I'm going with that.
Yeah, dog. I understand. He was raw dogging it.
He was raw dog. Yeah, he came out raw dog. I think we all did. I think that's part of being
Pretty much
a
part of
mammal.
being a human.
So he's classically trained, but he knew pretty early on in his playing career that all the money was going to be in pop or ragtime, which was popular back then.
Deck stacked against him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one of those hats? The fucking, the straw hats?
What kind of hat?
The straw hats?
The straw
with
hat?
the little, brim and the black band around it?
You mean the type that Michigan Frog would wear?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, my lady. Hello, my honey. Hello, my suck my dick.
Is that?
That was that song
Oh.
that Michigan would sing.
Yeah.
WB11. During the 30s, he started playing jazz in a band called The Mixers and being a piano man at saloons, cabarets, and strip clubs.
Oh, hello.
Ooh, hey.
Now, his parents didn't exactly approve of the people he was associating with, but this is during the 30s, and Liberace soon became the breadwinner of his family.
Okay.
But Tom, who was he associating with? That's the question.
What do you mean?
What were these people that his family like? Ooh, Liberace.
They were
Ooh.
naked folk.
all the naked strippers.
Yeah, they were all liberals.
Oh.
They didn't believe in FDR's New Deal.
Yes,
Nude deal.
His new deal. Yeah. FDR was always naked under that blanket.
Hell yeah.
We're always
rock hard.
naked under our clothes.
So while he was doing that and bringing in cash, he was also doing classical performances with orchestras, shit like that. And to not muddy up his name, while he was doing the strip club circuit and bar circuit, he went by the name Walter Buster Keys.
Oh,
Very
I like
creative.
that one. I like more than Liberace.
That's deceptively modern, I feel.
Yeah, I
I can almost see that like DMC featuring Busta Keys.
Buster Keys.
Buster Keys.
Well,
Fell down and hit my head, and I turned around. I woke up one day. I said, "Gay mode. Gay mode's the greatest."
I want to go to an old timey, like fucking reenactment strip club. Where's fucking
Whoa,
someone
what?
playing dun, 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 and they're like, hell yeah, titties.
Yeah, titties with
So,
fucking
like,
hairy
yeah.
armpits. Shit.
French.
Wait.
I could put myself there for a half hour.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too much sawdust.
Do a
I
shot.
don't do well with strip clubs. I don't like them.
There's a lot of leathery tits.
A lot of leathery tits. There's
Yeah.
a lot of beautiful women there too, but
Yeah.
I don't want to be treated like a sandbag with cash.
What strip clubs are you going to?
All of them.
Oh, gee.
The sandy slot.
Oh, God, no.
Of course.
North Shore?
Gold Coast strip clubs. The
No.
sandy slot.
You get a tan and you get to a strip show.
Yeah, I mean, I highly recommend the buffalo wings, but I will not
Never
be back
eat.
there.
No one ever eat at a strip club.
A little sidebar. We have a friend. I'm not going to
God.
say his name, but we all went to a strip club. I think it might have been someone's 21st birthday or some shit. Right? And two of our friends show up to the strip club. We're already there. They show up a little late. And there's a Chinese buffet in the back of the strip club.
Yep.
And they grab a plate and they just fill their plates up with this Chinese food. And literally, like, the people that were already there, like, the stripper comes down. She's like, dude, like, don't let them eat that. That's been there for,
The
like...
stripper.
Yeah, the
told-
stripper was like, that's been there all day. And I turned to my friend, I'm like, dude, the stripper just told me not to eat that.
The
like,
stripper.
Yeah, like, don't eat that. And they're like, nah, dude, it's good, dog. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
God. Yeah, I think you just gave him away by that vernacular.
Yeah.
But yeah, if a stripper whose choice dinner would probably be a Del Taco is telling you not to eat a certain food, you got to listen.
Red flags.
Absolutely.
Red flags.
All right, let's get some more of this in. Liberace began touring the Midwest with his one-man act, referred to as pop with a little bit of classics, or classical with the boring parts left out.
Zinger.
Z.
And he did this with his brother George, who played violin with him.
Oh.
Him and George are very tight, by the way. And he's also very tight with his mother.
Family man.
Yes,
Mama
he
boy.
loves his mom. Absolutely loves his mom.
Did the mom participate in the act at all? Was she a singer?
No, she didn't sing.
No, she was just, hello, I'm Mama.
yeah,
Yeah, that's that.
yeah, she's Polish. And,
Oh.
yeah, it's pretty mama. I don't know.
they
How do
say
Polish
hello.
old women say?
They're not Tolkien dwarves.
So we'll talk about Las Vegas. After his tour and getting on some radio play, he hit Vegas for the first time in 1944.
Oh,
and he ends up back here later. That becomes his hometown, kind of like Elvis did. And a lot of people say that Elvis took that idea from Liberace.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But they were friends, not like take it aggressively like, fuck this guy.
Yeah. So he was there during World War II, just playing for those ladies.
Yes, when the war struck and the draft happened,
Mm-hmm. How did he get out of it?
he actually had a really bad back from a childhood injury. Legitimate, on record problem with his back.
Little scolio.
It was an injury that just
Okay.
like didn't I don't know, he didn't move right.
Mashed spine.
He's just playing piano too hard. He was like,
The whiplash.
Exactly. So he's out of the war and he's in Vegas now and he's refining his act. And this is where he comes up with the showmanship that makes him who he is. He gets into the stage banter. He actually starts dealing with the venues and lighting, how they're going to light him, the overall grandiose outfits, things like that. He's testing that and the candelabra.
oh,
Now,
that was his thing?
yes. Now,
That's the non-Yiddish word.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So the candelabra, if you've ever seen Liberace, you always know that he always has a candelabra on top of his grand piano.
Mm.
And that he picked up from a biopic that he watched about Frédéric Chopin, in which Chopin's depicted with this candelabra on his piano when he's writing his stuff.
Mm. So for everyone that's uneducated, it's Frederick Chopin.
Yes. That's how you heathens would say it.
Yeah. Oh, I love Frederick Chopin.
That wasn't commonplace before Liberace and Chopin.
No, it wasn't. Chopin, it was just in the movie. Like, he wasn't known for it, but Liberace had watched this film and
he
was
got
like, I'm going to take that from this film and make it part of my act.
Just because it was fancy.
It was fancy. It was cool.
Fancy.
I get it. And
Yeah.
it became his signature move. He always had the
Let's put a
candelabra.
torch on the table while we podcast. Does that sound like a great idea?
I
Yeah,
love that
fuck
idea,
yeah.
dude.
Let's do it. Let's get fucked up.
Hell yeah. So Tom, just because you're the man of painting a picture,
I am a man of painting a picture.
so when you mentioned his lighting and his fabulous outfit, what would he be wearing? What would he be lit? Very dramatically, spotlight.
Okay, so I'm going to get into that a bit
Okay,
later on.
all right.
But what everyone needs to know is that Liberace was truly charming. This was a man you could look at for days.
Want to pinch his cheeks?
Yes.
Both.
Come here, little
Very, very well dressed. When he first started, he was pretty much just wearing suits, black suits, black tuxedos, things like that. It wasn't crazy stuff that I'll get into later.
Formal wear.
Yes. But he always looked sharp.
Oh, he's had a hat on, had a hat on as well.
I don't.
2 hats.
Never had a hat. I'll tell you that right now.
All right. Well, strike 2 for boy child.
You are fucking my shit up. I am fucking pissed.
We're like at strike 8 for you right now.
Yo, dog, whatever.
So now we'll cover the Liberace show. It was a 15-minute runtime show that started as a local LA show that was recorded in front of a live studio audience, and it ran from 1952 to 56.
All right.
It was an intimate experience consisting of mostly Liberace sitting in front of a piano, looking into a camera, and being charming, speaking to the camera as if it was a person. He'd play show tunes, film melodies, and a few classics. And he claims to be the first person on TV to look into the camera.
Wow, that's big.
That's kind of creepy, though.
It was creepy.
He's just staring at you and be like, check out this. This is the theme song from Dragnet.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
But this worked.
Oh.
This resulted in being syndicated all over the country.
It landed.
Really?
It landed hard. This was syndicated to, I think, over 200 different stations.
Okay.
So he's a household name now.
Some of the stations would play his shows up to 10 times a day.
So, Tom, this is happening during the 50s, right?
This is the 50s.
Okay. So he's from the Midwest also.
He's from
right?
there,
I'm
but
just
at this
trying
point,
to,
he's living in L.A.
I'm just trying to do a little correlation here. So the Midwest really loves ranch. And ranch was started in, I think, the 40s. So the rise of him and ranch happened at the same time.
All right, this is very interesting you bring this up. This is a 2-part answer. So ranch, came up in the 50s, big with people.
Yeah.
Secondly, shut the fuck up. I'm talking about Liberace.
Well,
don't bring up ranch.
It's saucy. He's a saucy boy.
He is saucy.
You're painting a picture.
I am painting a picture. I'm painting a picture. It's a ranch-based picture.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not entirely wrong. So he had, at the high point, he had over 30 million viewers watching his show at one time.
Damn.
I don't even think there were 30 million TVs sold at this time.
No.
15-minute runtime. Every time it was on, everyone would turn to it.
Right. I mean,
There was 6 channels back then?
Yeah, I was going to say, you only got like 6 channels, so...
And TV turned off at like 11:30 or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. It was done. They would just give you feedback.
Yeah, it's probably
There
a
was
lot
no
of
infomercials.
Banner and then just be off.
Mm-hmm.
probably a lot of people that just fell asleep to that man just staring at him in the TV.
Yeah, well, 95% of his viewers were women between the age of 45 and 90, sitting on soaking wet couch cushions, ovulating in mass, moist to the gills.
Oh, that's good.
No,
That's golden.
there were women who would dress up to watch Liberace.
Nice
Yeah.
picture.
It was their night out.
Dude, you are the picture painting master.
Oh, I sure am. So just imagine those oranges and browns that were used back then.
A lot of towels.
Yeah, a lot of
Soaked a
towels
little.
just soaked.
A little harder, but also there's like a half-eaten TV dinner in front of them.
Yeah,
Like on their blouse, just like. Bleh.
I could see them like intentionally starting their TV dinner right as the program starts.
And they
like
forget,
it's my
'cause it gets
dinner.
so
It's
damp.
my dinner with Liberace. I can see a lot of husbands going, "Look, you got to use the lawn chair now." I'm tired of this wet spot. I keep thinking it's a dog.
Deborah, this is my lazy boy. Get the fuck out of my lazy boy.
Fuck it. All right, so there's one big problem here, and his attraction that women had with him is that Liberace was a homosexual man.
Oh, he did not like the ladies being moist.
He did. He was a charmer.
Okay.
He
Got him paid.
he wanted people to have fun,
Mm-hmm.
but he did not have any women in his life.
Oh, no.
Didn't work like that.
No Mormons?
No, not a single woman's. In fact, during one of the high points in his career, his mom, who didn't know he was gay, was telling him that he needs to marry. And his publicist was like, hey, you should probably just, like, get a girlfriend. Which he did. And I forgot to write her name down because I'm a fucking idiot.
Let's call her Stacy.
I like it.
It might be a real name.
Yeah.
This is a woman that he was engaged with.
Mm-hmm.
And it got cut off, obviously. But at least it was enough proof to the public that he was a...
He was standing next to a woman.
Yeah,
Heterosexual confirmed.
Oh, and his fans, the best part was that he got thousands and thousands of fan mail every day telling him that he shouldn't marry that woman because they want him to be single. They like the narrative he's painted for himself.
Oh.
Yeah. But meanwhile, this dude's slinging dick all over town.
Oh, yeah. He's like.
not into vaginas.
He's not into vaginas. He's into sucking dicks. And I almost feel bad for him because back then in the 50s, that's a no-no.
Well, right.
You can't do it. That's a society where it doesn't fly. Today, it's like if you're gay, who cares? No one gives a shit.
Well, there was also that whole big subversive thing going on in the 50s. We talked about it in Marlon Brando a little bit. And fucking James Dean.
Okay.
They were, both of them were bisexuals.
Right.
They openly in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, in the 50s, they probably blew this dude.
Oh, yeah.
Liberace's Ween was probably in Marlon Brando's dang.
I'm sure there was a lot of that sexual experiment in the whole Hollywood, L.A. thing going on.
Hell yeah, crazy times. 1950s, L.A.
Let's tell you a story.
Story time.
So, Lee was in fact homosexual, but he needed to play this public relations game his entire life. In 1956, a UK magazine called the Daily Mirror published a piece by a columnist named Cassandra, describing Liberace as the summit of sex, the pinnacle of masculine, feminine, and nurture, everything that he, she, and it can ever want. A deadly, winking, sniggering, smuggling, chromium-plated, scented, impregnated, luminous, quivering,
This is
giggling,
you.
fruit-flavored, mincing, ice-covered heap of mother love.
That's you. You wrote that. Stop it.
I did not write that.
That's not a quote.
No,
you weirdo.
No, this is Cassandra.
Cassandra, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Now that was a pseudonym for this other fellow. I think his name
Tom
is Bob
Saltman.
Williams. Yeah. No, I'm getting into it. This quote goes very far in this story.
Okay.
So Liberace ends up suing the publisher.
What?
Okay.
That sounded like a compliment to me.
Yeah,
I
it really
would be
did.
flattered.
A
No.
quivering boy.
No, let me go over one part of this again. If you couldn't hear over the vomiting sounds, quivering, giggling, fruit-flavored, mincing, ice-covered heap of mother love.
Was the fruitful
The
thing?
mother love.
The fruit-flavored part is the smoking gun.
Slanderous.
Because back
Really?
then, being fruit-flavored was just, that's gay.
Gay flavored.
That is homosexual.
Oh, like your fruit.
Yes.
Yeah, fucking fruitcake.
Now, since Liberace's whole career is launching at this point, no, well, he's past launch. He's making a lot of money. He's actually making about $1 million a year at this point.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot of
big
money back in
chunk
56.
change.
Yeah. He was bigger than Elvis at one point, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He was friends with Elvis. He had a shit ton of money.
They dress similar.
Did they eat peanut butter together off each other's chests?
What do you?
I'm sure.
Hell yeah, they did.
So Liberace, he actually did have a really good sense of humor, but that was hitting below the belt to him. So he sued the publishers for libel. A case he won by testifying in court that he was heterosexual and had never performed homosexual acts before, lying under oath. Hence him holding it down his entire life.
That he was no homo.
Well, he came out to his friends,
Right.
and he came out to the people who was coming inside, but he never came out publicly.
I mean, that's pretty tragic.
It's horrible. It kind of sucks.
That's really terrible.
You know what the test and testimony stands for?
Testes.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, if you
are
lie,
you
we take
serious?
these testoms off?
No, you used to just swear on your junk back in the olden Greek days, right?
I did not know that.
No, that's new to me,
That's
but-
new to
Oh
me.
yeah,
believe
you
that
used, you
shit.
used to swear on your testicles, hence testimony. So,
Uh,
interesting take on the dicks.
No, I believe it.
Absolutely.
But this is where he actually coined a phrase, which you may have heard other people say, but he legitimately copywritten it, which was, I cried all the way to the bank.
He came up with that?
Yeah, that's him.
Wow.
Oh, he has zingers.
That is
He's a smart guy.
That's a classic boy. That's going to go down in the rest of the boy-child history.
like that.
Of the universe.
Now.
Oh, yeah, it's written up. But Betty White was one of his friends and confirmed his sexuality after he passed away. And she said that she would stand in for a beard for him back in the days to mislead press. So she would roll in and be like, yeah, he's my date tonight.
He's my heterosexual
so
boyfriend.
She's a champ. Yeah, him and his brother George had gotten into a lot of arguments because George picked up on this whole thing.
Was George gay?
George wasn't gay. George was very conservative. And at this point, Liberace had a whole bunch of houses and stuff. And the parties he would throw were just mostly men and who were obviously,
And George is along for the ride. He just wants to get that puss.
well, he's trying to get puss and he's trying to get bank because Liberace's got the fucking bank.
Right.
There's bank at Liberace parties, but there's no puss at Liberace.
George is like,
Yeah, so
George is like, hey, Lee, Where's the sluice?
It got pretty bad because around this point you had George fighting with him all the time, and eventually Liberace has to let his own brother go. So that's a rift in the relationship because George couldn't just let up and be like, yeah, he's gay. He was, he's a fucking pissed off conservative guy.
Right.
You can't be gay.
No word.
I don't know. He sounds like that for some reason.
With some Miss Canes.
With all of Liberace's success, there's going to be a few failures.
Oh.
Most of them were with humans.
Gotta crack eggs to make a fucking omelet, man.
That's right, man. Yeah. So this guy's living the high life. He's doing his thing. He's got his boy toys hanging around. He does.
He's playing it loose. Playing it loose and fast.
He's larger than life. He's paying for sexy little boys to hang out with him.
Little boys?
How little are the boys?
Like young men.
Young men.
Okay.
No.
All right.
He is not a pedophile.
Okay, good. We're putting it out there.
And I looked into it a bunch because there's a bunch of idiots online saying that he was.
Well, they're all dummies.
Well,
why is there controversy over if pedophile or not?
These people are homophobic.
Well, here's a perfect example. This is a nice little turn in our story. We have Scott Thorson.
Oh, Thorn.
Now, his Scott Thorson fellow was 17 when he met Liberace.
All right.
They met each other in Las Vegas, which means
as you do.
16 was the age of consent at this time.
It's good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Golden.
Now, he was 40 years his senior.
We're not good. We're not good.
So it's a little...
Still creepy, but you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to put it out there, then you blame people.
Yeah, you're throwing ass around town.
Someone's gonna catch it.
That's right.
Wear it on their head.
Exactly.
So Scott was 17 years old, and he was an animal trainer that met Liberace through friends.
Wait, what animal trainer? What type of animals was he training? Snakes?
Dodges.
Doges?
Yes, he was training pup dogs.
A little shibini?
Shibinis? He's training Shibinis, Younzounds.
Oh, yeah.
Classic dog breeds.
Classic dogs.
Fucking with me.
So Liberace immediately fell in love with this man, or boy, or young adult.
A young boy with his dogs.
Man boy?
And hired him to act as his personal friend and companion. A position that allegedly included a 5-year romantic relationship.
Personal friend.
With lavish gifts, travel, and Liberace's promise that he would adopt him.
Wait, hold on, Tom. So basically, Liberace is treating him like the things that he trains. Like a dog.
Yeah, Liberace ends up treating him like
a fancy
French
poodle.
Doge.
Yeah, he's his property, basically.
He puts a little pom-pom on the tail.
Yeah, puts a little pom-pom on the tail. They had a relationship. It was kind of strange. Liberace's kind of using him in a manipulative sense, a very vanity-type way, a trophy boy. And they banged a lot of ass. Yeah, that was their thing.
They're plowing.
Were they trade, or was it a one-way street for this?
I watched that movie.
It went into detail about trading in power couples?
Not so much that, but you can gather that.
Who was the bottom, Thomas?
Liberace.
Okay.
Hey!
He was the receptacle. The Sesmin receptacle.
A cum dumpsty.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So he became obsessed with his image a lot. Liberace was very vain. Became obsessed with his image and his legacy, and extremely manipulative with his lovers to almost keep this in line. And
Right.
Scott being the ultimate of the examples.
So I did not know anything about this guy, apparently, because I thought it was a different person.
You thought it was
you did.
Pavarotti.
I thought it was Pavarotti. So I'm picturing, we were talking about what he dressed as and everything like that. I'm picturing someone with like a Jacobean ruff, like something like frilly.
He wore many things like that.
Okay, so he's very the antithesis of flamboyant.
Yeah,
right.
The antithesis is the opposite.
I don't know. Words are different.
He was the paragon of flamboyant.
There you go.
If he had a persona, it would be a peacock. Big old, big-dicked peacock.
Okay, So I'm trying to paint that because you're narrating. I'm trying to paint the picture.
I understand. Yeah,
picture paint.
He'd rock the cape.
Yes.
Out of like,
he had caped it.
He caped it.
Hit
hard.
a beautiful cape.
Yes.
He had beautiful multiple capes.
Yes, and when it comes to his stage performance and the outfits he'd wear on stage, those were exceedingly crazy.
Fashionista
he had a sense of humor about it. He knew how over the top it was. But
Right.
that's the perception he wanted.
He's playing the character.
Yes, he played the character, but he knew what he was doing. He
Right.
wasn't actually like that 100%, or he embodied it. He was like it, but he also knew Yeah, one of those guys.
Well, it's kind of like Gene Simmons is just a cunt,
Yeah,
but he plays
doesn't
a
know it.
character.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to party with Gene Simmons as the character.
Yeah, because Gene Simmons is a fucking cunt.
Right, exactly. Liberace was actually the character. And he was very kind. If you would talk to him as a fan, he would take time to talk to you.
Well, he's a regular guy. He was a nice dude.
Yeah, he was a nice dude, and he always identified with middle class because that's how he grew up.
Right.
He liked the lavish things, and he would party with famous people and all that shit, but he never identified with them. He was pretty down to earth in that respect.
He would go and order that Wisconsin Sharp, nachos.
Yes, he would.
Right.
Sharp nachos, please.
Sharp nachos. Continue, Tom.
Yeah. So he managed to convince Scott at 18 years old to get plastic surgery to make him look more like him when he was younger.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew, that is gross.
Yeah.
All right, I'm taking back all those great things I said about this guy.
What great
That's
things have you said
fucking
about him?
weird. I was saying he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Check this out. So Liberace, he got some plastic surgery. He wasn't crazy on it, but it was botched pretty much off the top. And this was him and Scott went to get plastic surgery at the same time.
They got a couples deal on a Groupon or something?
Well, they talked to their doctor, a big Hollywood guy.
Yeah, bruh. Dr. Oz?
Let's
Tell
get
me
a-
it's Dr.
Some
Oz.
of that. Actually, in the movie, Behind the Candelabra, with
that's what it was called?
Yeah, Behind the Candelabra, it's Michael Douglas playing Liberace and Matt Damon as Scott Thorson.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it.
Mm.
And it gives you this weird peer into what Liberace was like, but it's more the story of Thorson
Right.
and how much he was manipulated.
Uh-huh.
It's fucking wild shit, man.
Well, I mean, the fact that he's trying to turn Thorson into himself is kind of weird.
Oh, very weird.
Now,
And
see, is that like an organism's intrinsic drive to reproduce?
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
But like you're faced with like homosexuality, so you can't have a son, so he'll just pick up some like hot pocket ass and then fuck it and make it look like you.
And like I was saying before, he tried to. They were actually in the process of adopting him, Scott.
Oh.
Like
Wait,
Liberace was going to legally adopt
Jesus.
Scott. It
Wow.
never went through, but the paperwork some of it was processed, and that's on file.
Things are getting real weird.
Yeah,
It's kind of like, you guys, I don't think you guys are on Facebook, right? Cody, you use Facebook.
Yeah.
There's this new thing going around on Facebook right now where it's like, turn yourself into a woman. It's like, you put your picture up and it turns you into a woman. And I did that shit, and I was like, that's hot. I'd bang it.
really.
But it really does kind of look like you, so it's kind of fucked up. You know what I mean? Like,
Is it a gender swap thing, or is it just womanify yourself?
It's womanify yourself, but it does a really good job.
Okay, I'll take a peek.
It's very strange.
As someone that's not a homosexual,
Right.
I bang me.
Right, you'd rather bang a female version of you than
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
All right, that's fair.
Everyone likes their own kind.
Yeah. So the way that whole plastic surgery thing went down was they met up with this doctor, and I forgot to write his name down because I'm an asshole.
Mingala.
My notes are stupid.
Caligula.
But he was a Hollywood doctor. Big time. Let's get that face all puckered up.
Yeah, dog.
Let's
Botox,
take that
Botox.
Gladware into brand new shiny ball. I don't know. That was terrible.
Yeah,
That was-
fucking Botox.
Yeah,
Botox,
slinging
Botox.
Botox like I was going out.
Yeah, well, I mean, this was pre-Botox. This was just
This is cement.
This is
Cement.
silicone extensions, if you will. So that's what's in Scott's chin to this day. This guy's still alive, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Big, high cheekbones, very freaky looking.
What happens if you
Ugh.
punch it?
It'd probably just mush up a bit, and then it looks like you
Pop?
have permanent mumps, I guess.
Ugh.
I don't know. You just don't get punched in the face.
Yeah, it
you
would
know?
break the person's hand that punched the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Maybe a little bounce off.
Yeah.
So the two ended up separating in 1982 after a 5-year relationship.
Okay.
Now, according to Thorson, their relationship ended because Liberace's promiscuous behavior. So he was out banging other ass. Or
Right.
getting his ass banged by
So
other
the
dicks.
old
Lanes,
guy
so
was
many.
unfaithful.
The old guy was looking for more pens.
He's a star. He's looking for all those Pen 15s.
Dude, he's trying to live the life.
Trying to be the Pen 50.
Yeah. And Thorson's drug addiction. So those two things together. Now, Thorson's drug addiction only started with the plastic surgery.
Oh.
You see, the doctor
Ugh.
who prescribed him that had medical cocaine and all these other things that he was prescribing him to for pain.
For like
And-
what? The tail of the surgery or
Well,
something?
yeah,
like that?
recovery
Okay.
stuff. And he also started him on what they would call a Hollywood diet, which is just a bunch of pills to make you thinner.
Oh,
So he got
alright.
hooked on all kinds of shit.
those must have been like just amphetamines.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amphetamines and speed and
Yeah, I feel so thin, I feel
cocaine.
so good.
And Thorson really did have a drug problem. Big time. And he was a fucked up addict. I think he's all clean now.
He's probably clean now.
Yeah, there's a few interviews with him.
I mean,
now.
if he didn't get clean, he probably would have been a dead boy.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a few years. It took him a while to get clean after the whole Liberace thing. Since Liberace had made Scott so dependent on him after this firing, if you will, he had his manager fire him. He didn't even talk to him himself.
What a bitch!
That's like,
He was fired as fuckboy.
Yeah, he fired his fuckboy. Because he didn't really do anything. I mean, he was part of the show. He used to drive Liberace out to his piano in a diamond-studded Rolls Royce.
What?
Yeah.
Like
To the venue?
No, on stage.
on the stage?
Like it was side stage, and he would just drive him about 15 feet and open the door for him. So he's part of the show, and he was like, doing some dance moves and shit with people.
How did everyone not immediately succumb to poisoning?
Monoxide I will tell you. I will tell you more about that.
Did Liberace hang out with Elton John?
Elton John.
Seems
this
like
is.
it.
I feel like they're in the same realm.
I don't remember.
Zone.
I don't know if they've ever met, but
Realm
Elton
zone.
John
Borrowed from him.
he's on record saying that Liberace is one of his idols, and really, Liberace kind of started the whole flamboyant thing on stage.
Right.
He was the first person to do that.
He was the first person to come out on stage, kind of. Not really coming out in a sense
just
of
be flamboyant and
right.
over the top, showy. Even Elvis stole that from him.
Okay,
and they were buddies. I'm not saying stole. They
Right.
had some rivalry
Yeah.
shit, but they were both doing Vegas at the same time. And that over the top,
that showmanship.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll get back to, since Scott was so dependent on Liberace and he was a drug addict, he took Liberace to court for $113 million.
Oh.
What? 113 million dollars?
Drawlers.
Oh, shit.
The case is called palimony. Now, this is it's not a legal term, but this is what
palimony.
Right.
All right.
So this is it's not the legal term, but it's what it's called. It's a mixture of alimony and just being a pal. So this guy was my friend. He treated me this way, and that's the lifestyle I got used to.
Tried to adopt me once.
Yeah, he tried to adopt him.
Cody, that's it. I'm taking you to palimony. No! Cody, you're my friend. I love you. You're a great boy.
Give me money.
Give me money.
But nevertheless, when you're Liberace, you have a billion lawyers.
Yeah.
So not only did this case get dismissed through the judge,
Okay.
he did get something. He wasn't totally out on his ass. Now, originally, Liberace had bought Scott a house and all these furs and shit like that.
Right.
But none of it was on paper, and the house was in Liberace's name.
Okay.
And he said, I'll just put it there for credit,
Mm-hmm.
So it's mine. You don't have to worry about it. So then the house was gone. Scott didn't get a house.
Ooh.
5 years of throwing...
Prenups?
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't really a pal.
Yeah,
Not a pal at all.
It fell apart, But he ended up giving Scott $75,000 cash, plus 3 cars he already owned and 3 pet dogs. Woohoo.
What were those dog breeds?
I don't even know.
Toys.
I was going to say Pomeranian.
Sure.
Yeah, both. But with that settlement, he signed off and said that he wasn't allowed to talk about Liberace at all afterwards.
Oh, okay.
So it was a hush-hush
Gag
Little
order.
gag.
Yeah, it's a gag order. And that was pretty much... It wasn't... The settlement was more for that, just paying for his silence.
It was a gag.
Thorson never actually talked about any of this shit. It hit the newspapers, but since it got dismissed, no one was pointing fingers anymore.
Right.
And, I mean, most people who were gay knew that Liberace was gay, and most of his audience that wasn't gay was just old women's and just want to believe whatever they want to believe.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
So
I feel
nothing
like
really happened.
I feel like it was probably a gag order on multiple, levels.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no. I mean,
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
But from a better man. From a better man.
Can't find your way. So let's just talk a little more about some of the interesting things about Liberace.
Yeah.
He had a thing with his mother.
Mama's boy.
Yeah, he had her at most of the shows and would speak to her directly from the stage.
That's weird.
A little
Yeah.
weird, but it was part of the character. You went there and he's going to talk to his mom. Hey, Mom, how you doing? This one's for you.
Mama!
Fred Mercury.
Yeah, that's a Fred boy.
Yeah,
That's a Fred child.
that would be
Frederick
Fred.
Mercury.
If you never heard of Fred Mercury, he's in a band called The Queens.
Oh, the Queens of the Stone Age.
Yes.
No, not that one.
that one.
Yes. He would also speak directly into the camera to her during his show, the Liberace show. Hi, Mom. How are you doing tonight? Things of that nature.
Horrific.
And this is also where he pulled in the I wish my brother George was here. He would talk to his brother George through the camera.
Dude, that is some psycho shit. Like, legit psycho.
People loved it.
Oh, well, people were weird.
Also, think about TV back then. It was so, like, slow paced. And it was just like inviting a little guy in a box to your house. And he's just going to
a charming little guy in a box.
Very charming.
Oh, yeah. Quaint.
He knew how to do it.
You can play a mad peony.
Yeah, so in the L.A. area, between L.A. and Las Vegas, he had 7 mansions between those two cities.
So
Did you say mansons?
No, well, let's see what you've done.
Or mansions?
He'd go in a gay caravan between L.A. and, get on the camel. Oh, here's my next mansion. Yeah. Oh, let me sleep here. Next mansion. Let me bang here.
Yeah, that was kind of how he lived his life. He way over the top. He had loads of cars, endless supplies of furs, diamonds, and antiques. All of his mansions were fully customized with piano-themed pools, designer decor. He used to go overseas and just buy crazy amounts of relics, old art. He was worth a shit ton of money.
Did he get that piano from Big Dog?
No.
Like where Tom Hanks was like...
That's what he had that on the side of one of his pools. It wasn't active, but I saw a picture. It's pretty funny. Yeah. I think his first piano pool was that, along the sides. It looked like that. And then there was another one where it was on the inside of the pool, and he would just pop up when I'm swimming. Yeah. But he also stopped swimming after a while because he lost all of his hair. And a guy like Liberace would not be seen with a bald head.
He has a toupee.
He had a wonderful toupee. In fact, to the point where no one knew he had a toupee.
Good rug.
Unless they were extremely close. In fact, the coroner was the first person to talk about that. But we'll get into that later.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So if he was drowning in his pool, and he was just reaching up and trying to grab those keys, and they were active, as a musician, Tom, what would that sound like?
Should I do it in post or should I just...
Yeah, do it in post.
Do it in post,
but
yeah.
Give us color commentary now.
Okay, if
of
you know
what that would be.
Yeah.
If you notice the velocity on the sharps, because those are the higher keys, when you're trying to swim out.
That's good cadence.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
I like what you've done with the timbre.
Wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff.
Now, is this a rabid cat stuffed within the confines of a piano? I like what you've done here.
Yes,
wow.
it's a cat with many bells and whistles taped to his limbs, jumping around.
I'm just so blown away.
Brings a tear to my eye.
Oh, that's so good.
On top of all these things he had at his house, he had collected so many things that he decided to share with the world and opened up a store in L.A. With all of his things that, he would redecorate and take some of his older stuff, priceless things that he would buy from all over the world, and he would sell them in his store.
What's the hipster term for that nowadays?
Boutique?
Vintage?
No, not vintage. There's with the wood reclaimed
wood. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He'd reclaim these antiques.
Reclaimed antique. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he had taste. I wouldn't say it's great taste. He had taste though.
Yeah. Everyone has some type of taste.
When the
you're deaf of the mouth.
When the stores were all filled to the gills, and he was trying to appreciate his life a little bit more, he opened up his own museum to himself.
Ooh.
Okay.
And started the Liberace Foundation.
What did that do? Aside from just exist.
It pretty much was there to preserve his good name.
While he was still alive?
Yeah. He did like some charity work, not a lot, but he was very generous to everyone around him. He was big on Christmas. Every Christmas, he would just like dump millions of dollars into people.
He was like, "Ah, Christmas."
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and here's a fantastic example of the types of generosity. In 1963, he was put in a hospital with kidney failure, the very slim chance of survival.
What happened to him?
Now, the kidney failure came from this chemical that was being used to clean all those costume suits that he had, those $100,000 costumes.
Was it formaldehyde or some shit?
Shit. Here I am, third time tonight where I didn't write down something important.
I'm gonna say it's formaldehyde on the pleather.
Yeah. Well,
he would never use pleather.
No, he would use leather.
Oh yeah, he probably just used straight.
He would
leather.
use like
he used all
Kobe beef orphan leather.
Was this child orphan?
Is this a child?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he spared no expense at all.
Right. Yeah,
That's
no
the kind of
pleather.
guy he was.
No pleather. That was a bad miss.
But when his outfits were dry cleaned, they used a certain material, and he was always in it, and he would sweat into it, and it seeped into his skin, and it made him really sick. And he was pretty healthy. He wasn't really like a user or an alcoholic of any kind. Like he fucked around with shit, but that's not really in
like
his
fun
legacy.
times, just not
not
like addict times.
Parties. Party guy.
Yeah, he'd party from time to time. But.
Yeah.
So Lee thinks he's dying. Oh, by the way, if I call him Lee, that's what his friends call him.
You knew him
and
personally.
yes, of course. I knew.
Yeah. Hey, Tom.
He died a year before I was born, so we're good friends.
Yeah.
You know.
Best buds.
The best BBs.
So Lee wanted to give it all away. So he reaches out to his manager and his accountant and sees how much cash he has at the time. It's like $50 million, something like that.
Ooh.
And he just buys things for people with all the cash while he's in his hospital, on his deathbed.
That's
or his presumed deathbed, I assume.
He's not dead.
Yeah.
He makes a miracle recovery.
Oh,
we're too early in the podcast.
And now he's broke his dick.
Oh,
But he liked to do it anyway. He's just that guy. And he still had all of his estate stuff. So if he was in dire times, he could sell a house and be fine.
And write a book now, probably.
Oh, yeah. Well, he went right back to performing, so he was covered.
Do you think most of that giveaway was coupons or gift certificates to Ruby Tuesdays?
It could be.
Probably. They have a great salad bar, and I think he really wanted the people to appreciate the salad bar.
Does Ruby Tuesdays have a salad bar?
Yeah, it's one of the best ones in the business.
Do you know, I'll tell you something about his diet.
Oh.
Towards the end of his life, he started using what they call a watermelon diet. Guess what that means?
So he ate watermelons every day.
He ate
with salt on it.
Yeah, watermelons and salt. Just watermelon.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyway, back to the hospital thing. He makes a miracle recovery, and he's fine, but he's broke. And he
recovered just because he stopped wearing the suits for like 4 days.
No, it should have really killed him.
Yeah, but like he just naturally got better after being not exposed to the chemical. I assume.
True. Yeah, because he would do 2 shows a day. That's what a Vegas residency is like.
Let's say if he's broke, couldn't he just do a couple shows and be like, "Hey, I'm good now.
Pretty much.
I got money."
That's what he did, right?
Yeah.
So he just bounced back.
Yeah, he bounced back quick.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
it was one of those things where you save all this money and then you give it away. And then it's like, well, I'm fine. But,
now.
Well, here we are.
Yeah.
So his live shows in Vegas after this point were still like fantastic spectacles.
Getting those 90-year-olds all wet still.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And this
switched the chemicals in his dry cleaning, I presume.
Yes, they did. They probably just threw out all the old shit just in case.
Yeah.
Put more feathers in the museum, probably.
Oh, yeah, that might be in the museum.
I feel
those
like
capes are crazy, dog.
Poisonous capes.
I feel like his costume probably transformed from the leather that he was wearing to more feathers. His feathers are all natural.
He did use a lot of feathers.
Free range feathers.
Look, if it came off an animal, he had it on him.
Yeah.
You know?
Did he have an animal named after him?
I don't think so.
If he did, what would it be? What type of
hamburger.
animal?
I don't.
Peacock.
Yeah,
peacock.
Yeah,
peacock. Okay, that makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Because that was him.
Yeah, he was a peacock boy.
Pet peacock.
Plus, he had those giant collars on a lot of the capes.
Oh,
okay,
like, so like flaring out.
Imagine the Elvis collar,
Yeah.
like made out of oak tag. But the oak tag is actually rhinestones and mink and
All right,
black
absolutely.
fox and all that shit.
It's the end of some shitty 6th graders Rube Goldberg. Is boom.
Yeah,
Sure.
he was still getting chauffeured onto stage in the Rolls Royce with his diamond-covered pianos.
Yep.
He'd wear the capes. Some of those capes actually cost around $300,000.
Wow.
That's kind of fliff this guy was rolling with.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
He was making $5 million a year in the 60s. Insane money. That's fucking insane. $5 million a year.
That is nuts.
Back in the 60s.
That's more than
That's steep.
That's more than Kennedy was probably making.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Kennedy was making $400,000 a year.
Oh, all right. And then he got shot because he
And then
made
he's
too much
dead.
money.
Hazard pay.
Yeah. Oh, actually, that whole kidney story, it happened right at the JFK assassination.
Oh shit!
The day he was admitted to the hospital was the day that happened.
Dude, because he's actually Harvey Lee Oswald.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane
And
Soviet.
Apparently, he
conspiracy.
was very close with Jackie Onassis as well.
Oh shit!
And Jackie O just hanging out with the Liberace. During his live shows, he incorporated the wire fly-ins. So this
Wait,
was a
so he did it-
55-year-old man being swung in on a wire.
Like a marionette.
Yep.
I was gonna say, in more recent terms, that's the fucking Spider-Man show.
Yeah.
And the Spider-Man just fucking splats against the wall, and fucking Bono's like, "Yeah, we did it!
I produced this. The children. Tax evasion," which is funny.
So he was doing that shit before Spider-Man and Bono.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, well, Bono's not cool. I'm just throwing it out there. Bono's just not cool. All right, let's wrap this up.
Hell yeah.
You know why? Because I'm tired of talking about this guy. You know why? Because he's weird.
He's
fucking weird. With the whole surgery thing, it's irking me out.
Yeah.
And the possessiveness. And also, I feel like he's the kind of guy who gives to manipulate.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could see that with his lover.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Scott
Thorsten. Scott Thorsten.
He probably
fucked that dude over real hard.
He probably had some routine or shtick.
Yeah, but and this definitely happened with multiple of his lovers, but Scott was one of the longer relationships.
Right, the other ones he fucking pumped and dumped real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm just putting it out there.
Good one.
You know what I mean?
Just putting it out there. So let's talk about his death. Liberace was secretly diagnosed with HIV in 1985 by his private physician in Las Vegas, 18 months before his death.
Secretly.
Ooh.
Well, it had to be hush-hush because back then that was a gay disease.
Yeah, Reagan would come at you with like, "Hey, you're gay."
Reagan just come at him,
just
shaking at him.
Yeah, and he'd be like, "Where am I? I don't understand who what
Come out of your
Who put the
brain.
mail here?"
Reagan had no clue where he was his entire presidency.
Yeah, he forgot what country he was in. Stalin,
No, you
knock it off.
Hitler.
Oh no, that was Gorbachev.
Yeah, it was
At that time.
Gorbachev, but he doesn't know where he is, so he's like,
Stalin
Hitler.
Stalin went pretty long, right? He went to when 70,
60,
68,
something.
60.
I don't know. So that's Soviet history. That's different.
Very
Yeah.
musical confusion.
Yeah. Well, this is in the spirit of the episode.
Yep. So he kept this terminal illness a secret till the day he died, and didn't seek any medical treatment.
He wasn't a Magic Johnson.
He wasn't. He was not a Magic
he was not
Johnson.
a
He did the
Magic
opposite. Because also Magic Johnson got that shit in the 90s when he was able to be like, "Yo, hoes got AIDS too."
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he did.
Yeah, he did that. So his physician claimed his cause of death as pneumonia.
Okay.
It
all right.
usually is pneumonia when you have AIDS and HIV.
Which just lowers your immune system, and ammonia is going to come at you.
Oh, actually, no. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. His physician cause of death. He said that it was a heart attack, and they give the body over to some LA coroner, and the coroner. I think the state actually ends up rejecting the cause of death. So the coroner now has the body,
right,
and is able to go, well, I'm going to figure this shit out.
It's not a heart attack.
Right. But didn't really work out like that. He had been embalmed.
Before he was given to the coroner.
Before he was tested. So what happened is that the cause of death was handed to the state, and then the coroner started embalming him. And then the state was just like, that's not how he died. And the state issued an autopsy. Now, all the blood is bad after you embalm someone.
Yeah,
it's all that fluid and shit.
Pump shit in there.
But he was in the hospital and had some blood work done a few weeks before his death.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
And that was on the hush-hush, and it was technically secret, but since they need a cause of death, they were able to open the files, and that's how everyone found out that he had AIDS.
Okay.
So Liberace was very concerned with his image, even to the death. He did not want anyone to know he was gay.
It's a little tragic still.
It is a little tragic. I almost feel bad for the guy.
Yeah. I want him to fucking be a free boy.
Because everyone knew he was gay. I mean, right before he died.
Except for those 90-year-olds.
He did like 20-something shows at Radio Music City Hall.
Right.
He had done a bunch of shows there, and it was all filled with drag queens and gays. Because he was an icon for the community.
Right.
But was never allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
Which is mind-boggling.
It is crazy. It's crazy to think about now. Except, like I was saying, except for those fucking like 90-year-olds at that point.
Yeah.
Who were just like, he's a straight man.
We're all retarded in our tolerance.
We're all retarded.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
We don't care. I don't care what you are. No one does. So it's very confusing reading this, being like, why don't you just come out, dog?
Yeah. It's strange
Different
today.
times.
Yeah, it's a different time. We weren't alive back then.
Especially for...
So I feel bad for him.
Yeah, especially if our viewers are even younger than we are. Because we grew up in like the very cusp of it, right? Where it was like, hey, Yeah, gay is all right. Whatever. It's like,
Well, I remember when we went to high school, we all went to the same high school.
Yeah.
If you were a gay kid, you got picked on. You're a faggot. That's what happened.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's how you were labeled. You were a faggot.
Yeah.
Like you got, and then I have sisters who are younger than me, 6 years younger than me, and the gay kids who would come out then, they were just the coolest kids for some reason.
Oh, you're gay.
It was like, oh, you're gay. You must be the coolest.
Right.
And I mean, that's fine.
Right. But
also, it was
also,
almost like the opposite, where it was you were an okay gay kid, and there was no such thing as a shitty gay kid.
right.
They were all fucking fantastic.
But also, Tom, like, you have to think about the fact that when we were growing up, you're like, okay, you're gay, like, we're gonna make fun of you, whatever. Before that, you'd be like, okay, you're gay, we're gonna fucking drag you behind a fucking truck.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? So, like, there's a progression.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And now I think everyone should just do them. Do you. That's all I say.
Faux real. So the pneumonia that I had mentioned before was actually onset from being, having the HIV, the AIDS.
Yeah, a little heavy.
Yeah. At the time of his death, he was worth $113 million.
Nice
The
job.
same amount that our boy Scott tried to sue him for.
It's a little ironic.
A little bit.
Isn't it ironic?
Yeah. So that's our coverage of Liberace.
You said there was something about his hair at the time of his death.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
want to know about that hair.
Sorry.
Let me know about that hair.
So while he was dying, he always kept his hair on. As I mentioned, it was a good piece he had. Nice.
What
rug.
color? What color was his
It was
hair?
like brown.
Brown.
It was
Light
brown. It was
brown.
kind of like
Okay.
Pompey. He had the
Okay.
pompadour.
Auburn.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it was a good piece. And he really cared about his fans and his image for his fans.
Uh-huh.
And since he had always kept the wig on in public, he didn't want anyone to know.
Mhm.
So the coroner was the first person to actually publicly say that he had a wig on.
Why? What is that? What,
So the coroner was a fucking snitch?
Well,
Yeah.
you at the strip, that's an accessory.
Right. But like, why announce it?
The coroner was a dickhole.
Yeah.
There's videos of this coroner announcing all this shit, and there's no reason the guy needed to have a press conference, but he did. This guy was.
Did he say his like junk?
That's what I was going to say.
Yes.
Wow. Like, how long was his ween?
How long was
the
how big was the nuts?
Well, the thing is that with the whole Scott thing, people were
was the
really
nuts?
curious to see if he was gay, and when the AIDS thing was happening, it was like it wasn't exactly an epidemic, but it was a scare.
Yeah.
And people wanted to know if that's what he was dying from,
Mhm.
because it's just like, oh well, we don't know if he's actually gay. We think he is. If he's HIV positive, then he's gay.
Right.
So
Not necessarily,
Liberace,
but
No,
back in the
well,
day,
But back in the day, they
that's how-
didn't
yeah,
understand
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
They're like, hey, you're a gay man. You have this gay disease.
Mhm.
yeah, pretty much. So the coroner kind of just wanted his 15 minutes of fame. So
Right.
he was able to, I think he had 9 press conferences
So he's trying to
where
be
he just talked about Liberace.
yeah, he's trying to be Dog the Bounty
Bald and
Hunter.
gay.
Yeah,
Dog the Bounty Hunter of coroners.
pretty much. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Bald and gay. Look at him.
And I don't know. Overall, Liberace meant well. He was a twisted fuck.
Yeah.
He was a twisted fuck. And I'm having fun poking some fun at him.
Oh, yeah.
But most of the people in his
He'd
life,
enjoy being poked at.
yeah,
Oh,
there
yeah.
we go.
Poking it real hard.
yeah, he was a bottom, as we mentioned before.
You mentioned that before.
If you didn't hear me before, it's me, Tom Saltman, the milkman, and I am here to deliver the true calcium, which is he took in the butt.
He took it in that butt. In that butt.
Yeah, in that movie we watched, Beyond the Candelabra,
Did Matt Damon?
there was an argument about that.
Did Matt Damon actually do it in real life, though?
I don't know.
So
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas?
No,
Yeah.
they never actually have intercourse.
No, but that's method acting.
They were definitely laying on top of each other.
Yes, they were.
they
They
sweated
had
on each
moisture. There was something. It could have been stage moisture.
other. Yeah, it could have been stage sweat.
Oh, like someone just spraying him down with
Spritzed.
fucking
Spritzed.
But
Crisco.
Isn't Michael Douglas a method actor? Wouldn't he?
Yeah, no, he'd want to be all hard,
Yeah.
loose. Hard
It's a good
loose.
movie. Honestly, Liberace, look into him. Interesting cat.
I mean, I feel like he is definitely a little bit of a tragic character for
He is.
sure,
Mhm.
but he's also fucked. The
Yeah.
whole plastic surgery thing is bullshit. The whole, fucking this his lover up is bullshit.
Trying
Yeah.
to adopt
Oh, look
him.
at this guy's face. I feel pretty bad for him. You can find him online.
Like, does his cheeks look like fucking little stones?
Yeah, they're up really high and
Oh.
pretty square.
He was like Asianified.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, yeah, speaking of that, The surgery that Liberace had to keep himself look youthful, the doctor... okay, this is according to Scott, and something I wore. Okay. Scott Thorson. So he's being interviewed, and he's telling a story about the doctor. And the doctor, who's doing the surgery on Liberace, he's like drinking vodka and doing lines of blow at the same time. And Scott's in the room with him. And
yeah, we're gonna fucking cut right here.
And he has Liberace on a general aesthetic for this one operation in particular.
Probably just ether.
Right. Yeah. So he has Scott in the room talking to him, comforting him while he's doing lines of blow. And this was a surgery he had done to his eyes.
That's how you do surgery.
After this surgery, Liberace could not close his eyes.
What? Yeah. He couldn't close his eyes?
That's important.
Like, he would fall asleep with his eyes wide open.
That is horrifying.
Yeah. No, that's... guys, ask me questions. I know so much about this, but my script is limited.
He could force him closed, right?
Yeah, he could force him closed, but like you can't sleep.
They just
if you're
rest
forcing
it
your
open.
eyes closed.
Yeah, you can't.
They rest it open. Yeah. Which imagine that. Imagine living your life like that.
What was his favorite color?
It's probably gold.
Probably asparagus.
Is there a color? Print? Well, I know it would be green, but that's a
great color name.
Yeah, asparagus.
Like
green.
macaroni.
I know
asparagus.
Cody would wear that color.
Oh yeah,
Cody would wear asparagus.
Yeah. You know, we were watching that movie, and at the end of it, Matt Damon's wearing these great shorts, and I think they would look really good on Cody too.
Are they high and tight?
They're high and tight.
High and tight.
They're like halfway thigh boys.
Cody got some very hairy legs.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah.
I'm putting it out there.
Yeah,
put it out
there.
He's got a bare upper torso, very hairy lower.
No, you gotta explain what you mean when you say bear now.
Not hairy bear. Yeah, like true. Asian top. I'm just gonna go all out. Asian top, Irish bottom.
Okay, yeah. Yep, that's me.
So he's got the. Did he ever tour Europe? Did he reconnect with the Italian roots? Did they like him in Italia?
Was he Italian? How Italian?
Yeah,
was
Liberace.
Well, his father Italian, half Polish.
Yeah. He did do some shows over there. I don't think it was extensive. Mm-hmm. I saw that he did play there. He, like I said before, he was friends with Jackie O.
Right.
And spent time with her overseas.
Okay.
And that fucking Greek dude that she married, that billionaire with the island.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
The billionaire with the island.
No, you know. Yeah, like basically evil genius man. You know?
Well, she banged Brando and then married the Greek guy.
Ophistopoulos.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. She banged around, dude.
Yeah.
Jackie. Oh.
So is he respected? This is another question. Is he respected classically?
That's a good question. What I saw a lot of was critics who were into classic elitists.
Right.
I like how you asked how he was remembered when you thought he was Pavarotti. That's a good.
Well, I was going to get to that point.
No, he wasn't remembered properly. You thought he was Pavarotti at the beginning of this.
I was going to get to that point. When did he gain his gift of?
No, he gained it when the Matt Damon's character touched his
sphincter. Oh yes, it did go. He was piping.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly what he sounded like.
Yeah. Liberace smoked a pack a day because he was a real man.
Oh yeah,
hell yeah, he's a Marlboro boy.
Yeah.
So was he respected in the classical realm though?
So the elitist critics did not like him. And it was partly showmanship, and it would also be his own interpretation
to classical. Showboaty?
Well, also the interpretation of classical pieces. Because he could take a piece and he'd memorize it like a motherfucker. It would be in his head because he thought in music. And then he would play with it. And classical people don't like that. They want sheet music stuff, you know. And he would put swing in places and make things a little more easy to listen to. Like when he would play things like Chopin, he would like simplify bass notes and stuff, you know, and not just fucking wail his hand around the way it was written. Remix. He would make his own version of it, which is, you know, it's kind of hard to do, but classical elitists do not like that.
Okay.
So he is a killer piano player.
Do you like playing chopping?
Yeah, he knew all that shit.
He loved the chop. It's chopping. Chopping.
For those of you at home, it's...
Tom, you're the musician, so they're actually going to fucking listen to you on this.
Chopin.
Oh.
You're done. Eat those Cheez-Its.
No, I'm going to eat the Cheez-Its.
We're not sponsored by Cheez-Its.
This episode's brought to you by Cheez-Its.
Never.
I cheesed on you.
Yeah, the sunbeam treat.
What?
So what other questions do I have for you, Tom?
Cody, you have any questions?
Was he a California raisin?
No.
He got smoothed out by that doctor.
He died 4 years after the California Raisins premiered.
Why do you know that?
I know a lot of shit. I was limited on my script writing time.
Was he ever featured in a episode of Scooby-Doo and Friends?
No, he. Oh, actually, he might have been. He
may have been.
He was in an episode of the original Batman series with Adam Waste.
Oh,
and
really?
And he played twin brothers.
Oh,
so they did some camera tricks and had 2 Liberaces.
I think I remember that episode.
I never watched any of those. I just saw that he did some TV show. He popped on some talk shows. He didn't like talk shows because he was such a showman that he didn't like being on stage with another star.
He was on Oprah, wasn't he?
He was on Oprah. And his interview with Oprah was one of the last interviews he ever did. That was a couple weeks before he died.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was talking about how your health is your most important thing, and he was talking about how wealth is one thing, but health is this. I guess he said that because he was dying. And
did he have a diet plan?
Was there in that watermelon?
Oh yeah, the watermelon.
Yeah,
plan.
he was just.
But did he promote that?
No, he didn't promote it.
Okay, he was just eating watermelon though. Just that's it.
You know what the trick is?
Whew.
You gotta vacuum seal it. It gets sweet.
Does it?
Yeah.
A watermelon gets sweeter if you vacuum seal it? No shit.
Yeah, you gotta stick it in your butthole. It gets sweet that way too.
You can stick it in your butthole. Tell me how that sweet brown tastes.
It tastes like Taco Bell because I ate that last night.
Jesus
Why do you keep throwing out all these weird brand names?
Dude, it's
easily be confused with the sponsorship deal.
Do you think Taco Bell would sponsor us if I said I ate watermelon out of my ass and it tastes like Taco Bell?
Do you want to try it? All right, we're gonna do this.
But
okay.
they can probably hit us with a cease and desist.
Our followers on Twitter, I want you to start a hashtag for us. It's going to be hashtag Taco Bell sponsor roast mortem.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah. And
Liv Moss.
Yeah, Liv Moss. And tell them to listen. We don't want them to blindly endorse us. We want them to know what they're getting into.
I want to get one chalupa every 60 days.
That's not going to happen.
In the mail.
With the return address.
They want the shell back.
So that was great learning about Pavarotti.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
Oh, well, thanks for listening, Travis.
Thanks for listening at home.
Where am I? Where am I?
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. That was our coverage on Liberace.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And that was fun. I had fun.
Oh, it was
Cody,
great.
did you have fun?
Indubitably.
Good. Travis? Fucking Travis. Thanks for ruining this podcast, Travis. No, you're darling.
Plug some things.
Papa John.
Oh, yes. So you can follow me, Tom, the Milkman Salty Boy, at Saunched, SAUNTCHT on Twitter.
You can follow me at Travis Alligator Son.
No.
I have a name.
Yeah,
time.
you did it.
Yeah,
you ruined. Just do it again, Tom. Just take it again. I ruined it.
No,
again.
it's your turn. He's gonna cut you in after he did his take that isn't fucked up.
Yeah. All right. Wait, am I doing it now?
Yes.
Hey,
You
I'm
need to get it right once.
Oh,
I'm
hey.
not cutting any of this.
I know,
This
it's great.
is
Hey, I'm Travis. You can follow me at Travis Legion. That has 2 W's in it.
2 E's. Got 2 E's in it. I'm Cody McCann, at Cody McCann. Nice and easy to remember. CODYMCCANN.
And you can follow us at Roast Mortem Cast.
Do it!
On Twitter and on Instagram.
Instant grams.
Give us a little like and subscribe on the iTunes and Google Plays.
5 stars. 5-star rates.
5 whole stars.
These stars don't run.
We're talking about star holes all night.
Yeah,
now we
that's
want
true.
you to give us whole stars.
Yeah.
5 of them.
Chocolate starfish. 5 of them, like ninja stars in the night.
All right, thank you, Shane, for
so
listening.
many analogies.
Thank you,
in there.
Shane. And I just learned so much about this man. Oh,
Good night.
Shut your mouth.
Good night.
God damn it.
We're done. Good night.
We're all done. We're all done.
Have you ever noticed, ladies and gentlemen, that every generation has had a particular kind of music they considered all their very own? You know, like now it's rock and roll. Well, when I was a teenager, we had a kind of a crazy thing going for us, too. I wonder how many of you remember the boogie woogie craze?
What's up, ninnies? Tom here. Just want to thank you for listening to this episode and let you know that the obituaries were put on hold for this week due to scheduling. So if you're waiting to be killed by us, we got you covered coming in next week. Thanks very much, and check out this Liberace tune. Thank you, Shane.
I'm gonna play that part again so you can all shout hey, okay? You want to do it again, don't you? How about the ladies doing it all by themselves, okay? Okay, fellas, now it's your turn. You see, there are men in my audiences, too. I hope I didn't leave anybody out. Well, you never know when Tiny Tim might be in the audience. Now, this boogie woogie I've been playing for you is a kind that is known as boogie woogie 8 to the bar. Here's a little invention of my own, boogie woogie 16 to the bar.